Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So many of you keep asking me whether we should be buying a flat or whether we should not buy a flat. So what I did was that I actually purchased a flat in this complex and I'm going to give a tour of that flat. I'll explain you why I have purchased that flat. What are some of the basic points that you should remember in terms of buying a flat. So that is the precise piece of conversation that we are going to have. It's going to be an extremely practical video. My son is here. My cameraman can show.
Hi.
And don't show me. Okay, now we will go. I'll give you a tour of the flat and we will keep talking. So come with me. Okay, so point number one, many of you would say that Akshat, you're a dogla insan because you usually say that do not buy a flat and you yourself have purchased a flat. So what's going on there? So let me very quickly explain it to you. Let's see, I'm not against buying flats or buying any specific properties. I give general rules. For example, generally, if you are purchasing your first real estate, focus on buying commercial properties. I have predominantly put my real estate money in commercial properties. Whenever you are buying any real estate, it will have specific purpose for you. So there is a specific reason why I have purchased a flat. Am I a big proponent of buying flats? Absolutely not. Most of my real estate money will go to commercial real estates only or real estate on which businesses can be built. So this particular flat serves two purposes for me. So first and foremost purpose is that I am going to build an office here. If I would have purchased a villa or if I would have purchased like a piece of land, then I can't construct an easy office, the type of office I am looking to build. I'm not trying to build like a multi-storied office. I just need like a basic shooting room, video recording room, that type of stuff. So this type of office works well for me. Second key thing is that this society where I have purchased this flat, it also has very good community when it comes to short-term holiday rentals. So during the peak season, when I would not be using my office, I might turn it into Airbnb, or if I change my plans to move to some other city, then also I can use this space as a Airbnb rental. So my viewpoint of purchasing this flat is very clear. I don't want to flip it. I don't want to make investment money out of it. It serves a very specific purpose. So therefore, I have purchased this smaller unit. It's a 2 BHK flat. So now let me take you inside and talk about further points. Okay, so here is the flat. Here is the fire extinguisher in case some kind of emergency situation comes up, and dual purpose, that's the reason why I've purchased this flat. So come inside and I will give you a very quick interior tour, and then we will speak about the second point as to what stage you should be purchasing a flat. So come inside. Yes, so he has found some items in this space. Now you might be wondering that, okay, have you purchased this table? Have you purchased this sofa? Have you purchased these bulbs? The answer is no. This was a furnished flat that we had purchased, or somewhat furnished flat. So we just literally got this in this situation. So it's a semi-furnished, I would call it. We'll have to redo the interiors, especially when we are Airbnb it out. So it's a 2 BHK flat. It has a larger floor area. I'll put it somewhere here in terms of the floor area. So the space of this flat is fairly big. So let me give you a very quick tour. So you can see this is the main living room. It's fairly big, right? So the size is very big. It's very airy. So in Goa, the apartments or anything that you're buying, it should ideally be very airy, because in Goa, there is a lot of sealant problem. So it's called dampness problem in English, if I'm not mistaken. So in order to avoid that, whatever unit that you are buying, it should be fairly airy. And I think this holds true for almost any city where you are purchasing any type of livable property. So from that perspective, I like this unit. So okay, so over to the main topic that many of you ask me that, hey, at what stage we should be purchasing a flat? In the sense that should we book the flat in the initial stage only when the builder has just launched the project, or should we buy it in a stage when it is completely completed the way you have purchased it? So my viewpoint on this is fairly simple, that you should be absolutely clear as to whether or not you are going to get possession of that flat in a timely manner. So please read the contract very, very closely. My personal belief, and this is not based on any data facts per se, this is just from my personal experience, that you should be very clear about the type of property that you are buying. Because many a times they will just show you, like, you know, a sample flat. You will get very impressed, yaar, isme interior bahut achhe hain, वगैरह वगैरह. So that thing is specifically done to sell more units. The type of property you will end up owning, it might look and feel very differently. So yeah, so that's my viewpoint, that I would ideally purchase a flat or a unit when it is close to completion, or I am very clear that, okay, yaar, ye milne wali hai cheez. So then and only then I will be buying that stuff. Will I get it at a slightly more expensive price? Maybe, right? Do I care too much about it? Probably no, from that perspective. So yeah, that is my opinion. People can have different perspectives around it. None of the perspective is incorrect. So in my case, since I define use case of every property, so therefore it is very, very important for me to understand what specifically am I getting into. So let me talk about very quickly the use case of this property. Let me give you a very quick tour. So let us go to the kitchen. So here is the kitchen. Again, all the stuff we got along with is this unit. So this is a decent new fridge. This is like a cooking stove, etc., etc. So I'll probably bring my teammates here. So it serves the purpose for 4 or 5 people from that perspective. So this is the main living area. Now the furniture does not look very appealing as of now, but hopefully we'll be able to rework it. And if you know any good interior designers who can help us refurbish the place, we'll be very happy to work with them. So this seems like a good hangout area, so to say, or maybe like a pool table or something where Zain and I can play. High five. Okay, so that would be the perspective with which we will design this room. So come, I will also show you the balcony. It's fairly airy, decent view, I will say. That not like exceptional view, but decent view. So come here, and yeah, so it looks like green, it looks clean. No hindrance per se, so it's a decent flat from that perspective. The balcony needs to be cleaned up right now, so you'll maybe probably do like put some jhula and stuff like that, but it's fairly airy from that angle. So let us very quickly show you 2 bedrooms. So if you are living here, so this can actually be turned into a livable property also. So the room is like fairly decent size, so the size of the entire unit is fairly big. So this is a decent size property, I would say. Again, it has a balcony very similar to the one that I had earlier shown, so I will not show that to you. All these cupboards came with it. Again, a very basic almirah, nothing fancy. So the size of the bathroom is fairly big. Now these small things actually create a massive impact on the property, especially when you're Airbnb it out or you're doing short-term rentals on it. So people would love to live in slightly more spacious places. So from that angle, the bedroom size is good, the size of the bathroom is fairly good, it has a balcony. So all these things can be done with good interiors and it will create like sort of a good living experience. So come over, I will show you the second bedroom and then we will talk about a couple of more important points that you need to understand about buying flats. Okay, so this is the second bedroom. Let me very quickly take you to that, and this is the common bathroom. It's almost the same size as the previous one. And here, this is the second bedroom. This is my nani. I'll show you my nani also. Okay, so she liked the place and this is what it looks like. Again, it has a separate balcony. All these came in when we moved in, and again a nice view, I would say. So it's very clean, calming. So overall good vibes from the apartment. Now very quickly touch upon that many of you ask me that, hey, what type of documents we should keep in mind while we are purchasing a flat. Part of the discussion can be contextualized to different cities where you are purchasing the apartment, but 4 or 5 key things that you should remember in terms of documentation is that first and foremost, take a look at the sale deed. So sale deed becomes a fairly important part, that if you are directly purchasing it from a builder, please read the sale deed very properly. If you are purchasing it from a previous owner, for example, I purchased this apartment from a previous owner. So there again, read the sale deed very properly, because it shows you the chain of how this apartment or this particular property has moved from builder to a particular owner, or from owner 1 to owner 2, owner 2 to owner 3, so on and so forth. So this is a very important piece of document that you should thoroughly check. The second piece of document is called as nil incumbent certificate. So this is again a very important piece of document. It shows that the lender, or for example, if this property was mortgaged to a bank, then you will not get a nil incumbent certificate if a bank loan is already there. Then it needs to be taken over by the buyer. So please remember this. This is the very important piece of document again. The third piece of document is the NOC from the society. So many a times when you're purchasing these type of properties, the previous owner might not have paid the dues to the society, or there might be some kind of charges that he or she would have missed. Now on top of this, please remember the concept of power of attorney. So many a times these apartments are purchased, especially in Goa, on 2 names. For example, husband and wife might be owning this property, and when they sell it, they will be selling it to another set of husband and wife. So you need like both the parties to sign the document. Now, many people in Goa, they buy the property, they move abroad, right? And in that situation, what happens is that the seller might tell you that, you know what, I'm living in like UK or some exotic place and my wife will not be able to come. So sale deed nahi ho payegi, vagera vagera, right? So you need to be sure that there is something called as power of attorney. So power of attorney simply means that the husband has the power or wife has the power on behalf of the husband or the wife to sign that sale deed. So this is again a very important piece of document that you need to have before you purchase this property. But again, as I said, that this is highly contextual. It depends on a particular city. But these 4 or 5 pieces of document that I quickly spoke about are required almost everywhere. So be aware of. Okay, so the next point that you should know before buying any flat is that please inspect the flat very properly. So for example, this is a newer property. The previous owner purchased it and he was the first owner. He purchased it in 2020. So we purchased it within 3 years. So this would be considered as a fairly new property. But many times what happens is, especially in Goa, that you get these type of cracks, right? So for example, if you take a look, and this is called as inspecting the property. So now you should go and inspect it further. कि अच्छा ये cracks आए क्यों, right? So the first reason could be that there is some kind of structural issue with the building. So get it checked. So we got it checked. There was nothing off. Now the second reason could be that, you know what, there is like limestone that is usually used and it cracks in Goa's weather. So this is a fairly common problem that happens in almost every villa or any type of apartment that you are buying here. So this is just one example that I spoke about, but there could be multiple such issues. For example, whether the apartment or the unit that you are purchasing, does it have like waste composition or it has sewage treatment? Does it have garbage collection? Is the outdoors maintained properly or not? Is there like problem in the societal area? Is there sufficient space to park? All these minor points need to be inspected and talked about. So please check that. Now I hope these 4-5 points are clear. Let me take you outside the flat now and talk about some other key points that you should remember. And also, many of you keep asking me that, you know what, are you going to launch a real estate course or are you going to talk more about real estate in your upcoming videos? I will be doing a special class for Wisdom Hatch students. For people who do not know what Wisdom Hatch is, it's one of the websites that we run where we talk about finance, investing, gaining financial freedom. So if you're a student there, this special class will be organized for you towards the month end. Honestly, I haven't thought about making a real estate course, but I'm purchasing a lot of real estate, and through these practical experiences, I'll keep on communicating it to you. On YouTube video, I get very limited time to, sort of package everything in 10-20 minutes and explain it. So in case you're a student at Wisdom Hacks, there is a free masterclass on real estate investment that I'll be doing for you. So the sign up link is in the comment box. Please go and sign it up. So when you have inspected the flat, the next point that you need to know is that don't just inspect the flat internally. Also look at the externalities around it. For example, how does the exterior of the flat looks like outside your apartment? For example, how good is the lift, the quality of the lift, which floor, what the parking area is, what the road area is. So this particular flat has an access to a pool also. So there is a pool in the society. So all these become additional points, because if in Goa you are doing Airbnb, and if you just buy a standalone flat, it has no pool, then fewer people will come. But this type of flat, if there is a pool attached to it and the people get to use that pool, it increases the value of the flat by a lot. So keep these minor points in mind. It becomes very important. Also look at the lobby, whether the lobby is spacious or not. So these are basic things, but people sometimes miss it. Therefore, I am stating it out quite explicitly. So very quickly speaking, this is what the pool looks like. When you come, I'll make arrangements for Airbnb and I'll make sure that we keep the apartment prices low. Now, because I'm building direct distribution and I would not have to pay commissions to Airbnb, booking.com, all this stuff. So I'll be able to pass on the benefits directly to you. So yeah, so that's a promise from my end. And in case you are in Goa next holiday season, most likely I'll put this up on Airbnb. So do keep checking the links in the description box for that. Alright, so the final point about buying a flat that many of you ask me, यार छोटे शहर में खरीदना चाहिए, बड़े शहर में खरीदना चाहिए, इस सोसाइटी में खरीदनी चाहिए, which society should I buy? Noida, Greater Noida, all that stuff. Now, I don't know, right? I mean, it really depends from deal to deal basis. So very hard for me to give like general rules here. But one general rule that I will give you is the yield rule. So yield का मतलब होता है, for example, if you are buying a flat at let's say 1 crore rupee, and on an yearly basis, if you are making rental income on it, let's say 4 lakh rupees yearly basis. So that gives a yield of what? 4%. So if you are making yield of less than 4%, on any flat, then my advice would be not to go for it. If the yield is greater than 4%, then that is a deal that you could consider. On top of that, you need to amalgamate it. So the word of the day today is amalgamate. Let me know what does that mean. So on top of this is, for example, if your property has multiple use. For example, in my case, I can turn this into an office. That's my plan A. Plan B is doing Airbnb rentals. Plan C is then in case I leave Goa and if I need like a second home during holidays only, then I can just do good interiors and just for holidays, maybe like 10-15 days a year, I'll show up. So that's my third use. So it also depends on the multi-usefulness of a particular property. So keep that point in mind. Now finally, before I let you go, so let me show you my mother's verdict on this particular flat and what does she have to think on it, because all the while I was speaking and making this video, she was the one inspecting the flat. So let's go over and take her viewpoint. Okay, so time for audience's review, right? So let's start with Zain. Zain, did you like this new house?
Yes.
Or no? So let's move on to candidate number 2. Okay. So how did you like the flat? Did you like it? What were the pros and cons? अभी हमने price नहीं बताई है किसी को. Okay. So maybe we'll reveal it, maybe we'll not reveal it, but range दे देंगे. Okay, towards the end.
Okay, whatever it is, it's an excellent purchase. So spacious, the bedrooms are so big and it's well lit also.
ठीक है, हम अपनी प्रॉपर्टी तो वो बम्प अप करेंगे.
नहीं, पंप अप नहीं करने वाली बात नहीं है. इट इज एक्चुअली एन एक्सीलेंट परचेज.
ये तो आप बताइएगा. अच्छा, माय नानी गॉट शाय, शी लेफ्ट एंड उनको भी अच्छा लगा. उनको अच्छी चीज़ें नहीं लगती, स्पेशली रियल एस्टेट. सो या, सो ओवरऑल लाइक पॉजिटिव फील, राइट? एंड यू लेट अस नो हाउ डिड यू, व्हाट डिड यू थिंक अबाउट द प्रॉपर्टी. द प्राइस इज बिटवीन, वील से 65 to 85. That is what we will give the range as. We'll not talk about these specifics. I know बहुत debate वाला issue हो जाता है. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, do press the like button, share it with your friends, share it with your family, and yeah, and just watch it on big screen with your entire family, and let us know your feedback on the flat. And if you know an interior designer who would love to design this, do get in touch with me via LinkedIn. I'll be happy to chat.